So, why do you have neck pain? Maybe you wake up with it, or maybe you have it at the end of the day, but you don't remember doing anything to cause it. And when you do have it, even more importantly, is how do you get rid of it? What can you do about it? Well, welcome to Back Talk with Dr. Ryan. I'm Dr. Ryan Wolfert, and on each of these episodes, I address the most common questions and misconceptions that people have about spinal health and back pain, how you can strengthen your spine, and how you can be your own guarantee for your health in your life. So today, we're going to be talking about neck pain. So let's dive into this because first, let's try to understand the neck a little bit more. There should be a certain shape to your neck. So there's this natural curve when you look at it from the side. It should have this, it's a half of a circle, essentially. And it's called a cervical lordosis. So lordosis, that's the normal positioning, natural curve that your neck should have. And you want to think about your neck, and when it has that nice natural curve, it balances the head weight, right? It balances the weight of your head. So think about your head like a bowling ball, right? When we have that curve, that bowling ball, that weight of the bowling ball is absorbed. That stress is absorbed by the lordosis. It's like a shock absorber that protects your spine, protects your spinal cord. But what happens all too often is with the modern day habits that we have, where we're hunched over our phones or on the computers or propped up on pillows or sitting on the couch, being hunched over, you lose that natural lordosis, you lose that natural curve of your neck. So when it straightens out, it's like, again, removing the shock absorber. Think about your car. If you remove the shocks, the shock absorbers from there, it makes the impact that much harder on yourself inside the car, but also on the car. You remove the curve of the neck, the natural normal curve that absorbs the shock, and then it puts stress on the spinal cord as well. But just movement wise, every movement becomes harder. It creates more tension on your spine and also the spinal cord. So think about like a rubber band. Your spinal cord is protected, right? Inside your spine, inside your neck. So it's nice and relaxed. Think about a rubber band, a rubber band that's relaxed inside that structure. But now, when you straighten the curve, when you straighten your neck from either accidents or a lot of times in our day and age now is these forward flex postures. Well, what happens is that spinal cord, it gets stretched like a rubber band. So it gets tense and tight and can't deliver those messages. So your body alerts you in any way that it can, which pain is the most obvious, and it's the one that we tolerate the least as humans. But that leads to, again, when you lose that curve, the neck pain, the stiffness, headaches, even numbness, tingling down the arms, even, problems lower. But let's just stick with the neck for now. One study showed in the Journal of Manipulative and Physiologic Therapeutics. I don't expect you to remember all that. I'll put a image so you can see that. A study showed that the cervical lordosis below 20 degrees. So the normal, another study found, is between 30 and 42 degrees. So if this curve is less than 20 degrees, it significantly increases your chance of chronic neck pain. And even if it's completely straight, okay, so like 0 degrees or in the opposite direction, that increases the time. You're 18 times more likely to have chronic neck pain than no neck pain. So right there, that shows you how important this curve is for your spine. So when that happens, and it affects not only the neck, but affects all the way down. Because sometimes we have to figure out, not sometimes, we always have to figure out, why is the neck getting straight? Why is it in a poor position? It could be coming from your rib cage area, your thoracic spine, because that will direct many times what your head and neck does. So that's why we have to look at the full spine. And that's why here can affect mid back, can affect low back and stretch the spinal cord all the way down and put stress and strain even on the low back because of the positioning, the biomechanics and the mechanics of your body. Just like if we, again, think about a bowling ball. So the head's like a 15-pound bowling ball. And now if we put it out away from the center of gravity, your low back is even going to have to work harder. Just like if you had a bowling ball or a weight in your hands and you had your arms outstretched, your shoulders are going to be working harder. You're going to feel it in the shoulders and arms, but you're not holding it with your, you're holding it in your hands, right? But you're still feeling it here. That's how the effects of your body tries to compensate. All right, so now we talked about what the problem many times is a straightening of that cervical lordosis. Well, what are we going to do about it? Well, if you've seen other videos that I've done, the EAT method, EATN, eaten, we're going to really focus on the EAT part. So the exercise, the adjusting your lifestyle and the traction, but exercise, is key. Movement is key. Regular stretching and strengthening exercises for the neck and upper back can help prevent these issues and neck pain. And I'm actually going to link to a neck exercise video that I did, so you can definitely check that out. I'll also link to that in the description. But I want to move on to adjusting your lifestyle and adjusting your postures, awareness of what your posture is throughout the day. So are you slunched over, or slunched? I combined slouched and hunched. So slouched over your computer or at your desk. Are you propped up on pillows, either on the couch or laying down in bed? Are you, here's one that I see quite often out and about, maybe in a store or even just people walking around the neighborhood. Are you, like, if you're in line somewhere, are you looking at your phone? Is it down towards your hips rather than lifted up in front of you, so you're not creating that slouched posture, that the straightening of the neck? Are you sitting slumped over on the couch playing a game on your iPad, Candy Crush or whatever the game is now, or solitaire, for over 20 to 30 minutes? That is enough to start the process of straightening the spine. And then if you keep doing that over and over again, it just accelerates that degeneration, accelerates the straightening of the neck and the basically progress to neck pain if you don't have it already. So you want to, when you are during your life, when you're on the couch, when you're just walking around, when you're on any devices, you want to make sure that your head is up over your shoulders, is up over your hips. Okay, you want to keep the head up as much as you can. Now, if you can't get to that position, that tells you, all right, maybe it's progressed too far and you might need a little bit of help with that. But the T part, I want to move on to and spend a little bit more time on this, because this is often overlooked. The T of the Eaton therapy is traction. So because of the repetitive stress and strain that we're often putting on our necks and on our spine and on our posture, well, it breaks down the spine, and it breaks down the spine, and also especially the ligaments that are holding the spinal bones together, the vertebrae together. So traction helps to retrain these ligaments and also the muscles, but especially the ligaments, to hold the bones in the natural healthy curve, into that healthier position. Exercises alone might not be enough. Like the one I linked to, it might not be enough. It's a good start, and those are great, but because it's not under the load long enough to retrain the ligaments, that's where traction comes into play. And I like analogies. So think about a jar of thick molasses, right? So you got it, and it's normal, it's all that molasses down at the bottom of the jar, and now you start tipping it. Does it move immediately? Is it like water where it just goes? No, it takes time as we're tipping it upside down for it to start to take that new position. It's the same thing, or very similar, with the spine and the ligaments. We need to put it in that healthy position, hold it there for a period of time for it to reform and remodel and remold. Again, another analogy similar to putting braces on teeth. They need to be there in that position for a period of time for it to do that. Now, I went over this. I created this spinal hygiene mini class with this Eaton methodology. So definitely, if you want that, type in spine, and I'll make sure I get that spinal hygiene mini class to you. There's no charge for it at all. So how do we do this? Now, how do we reform using this traction? Well, in the Journal of Medical Sciences, they did this study showing the impact of one using this device. It's called a Denerol, not Demerol, not the drug, but it's a spinal remodeling device. And it used that to see, okay, one, what is the impact of cervical spinal rehab using this, and then also other methods, and what were the results on neck pain and disability especially. So they had two groups with non-specific neck pain. So not necessarily disc problems or numbness and tingling, but just these unexplained, non-specific neck pain. What can help with that? So they split them into two groups. One received traditional physical therapy, which was infrared, ultrasound, TENS therapy, and manual therapy like mobilization with the Denerol. So that was the experimental group. And then the other group only received the traditional physical therapy, so not with the Denerol. So what it found was with the Denerol group, there were significant improvements in both neck pain and neck disability compared to the physical therapy group. Okay. So the PT, for short, only group, it actually did get improvement. It's 49% improvement in pain and about 16% improvement in neck function. So decreasing neck disability. But when you add the Denerol into it, this type of device that can only be used under the supervision of somebody who knows how to use it and to prescribe it for you. So don't go on Amazon and try to get one of these without knowing what your spine is. So with the Denerol, they improved 62% in pain and almost 40% in their neck function. So adding the Denerol to standard physical therapy significantly enhances the pain relief and also the functional recovery that you can get. So again, the motion that you get in your neck and your ability to do life, to live your life. Now, like I said, if you are experiencing a lot of neck pain and it's just not going away and you want to learn more about, okay, how to use one of these, the best doctors to contact are chiropractic biophysics physicians. So CBP, they've done the research. They've, learned how the spine directly impacts your overall health and especially neck pain, and can instruct you on specific exercises and traction that you would need to restore the normal curve of your neck and how much improvement that you could expect. So again, that's what I practice is CBP. That's what I use, the technique that I use. But they're all over the country. I'll supply the link in the description as well on how you can see if there's somebody in your area. And if not, then definitely reach out to me. Now, remember, neck pain, I know it sounds odd because if you have neck pain, why aren't people looking at the actual structure of your neck? But unfortunately, they don't. They look at a lot at other things. But as you can see, neck pain often stems from misalignment, these imbalances, the straightening of the neck curve. And it's not just about muscle strain. The muscle strains and has a chronic strain to it and gets tight because of the positioning of the neck. It has to overwork itself. So if we correct the spinal structure, strengthen the ligaments, strengthen the muscles as well. And if you need professional help from a CBP qualified, trained physician, definitely do that. In the meantime, what I also want you to do, definitely type in spine in the comments if you want this spinal hygiene mini class that I created, and it'll help give you the framework and strategies on exercises and adjustments and how to even use like a towel for the traction of the neck to get you started. So why do you have headaches? If you have headaches, I know I experienced headaches when I was a kid. That was my first experience going to see a spinal healthcare specialist, a chiropractor when I was 13 years old. If you have headaches, is popping a pill, medications really the answer? Is that really getting the root cause of it? What else can you do? That's what we're going to talk about here, because I want to address this very common question and concern that people have with their headaches, with spinal health. I want to show you how to strengthen your spine. I want to show you how to be your own guarantee for your health and your life. So let's dive into headaches and understanding why you get them and what you can do about it. So there's common misconceptions, and they're not necessarily misconceptions, but there's more to the story. It's not just about the stress that you feel, or not getting enough sleep, or maybe even being dehydrated. Those can all be causes of it, but spinal imbalances, spinal distortions in the neck is the quote hidden cause. Even though it's so close, right? The neck is right there by the head. It's often overlooked. And we think we just have to take drugs. We can take over-the-counter medications, and it's no big deal, right? It's over the counter. Well, it can be a big deal because they have far-reaching effects, detrimental effects, side effects. And we want to look at the spine, because the spine is the foundation of the strength of your body, because of the muscle attachments, because of how it houses the spinal cord and the nervous system and protects that. But let's think about the neck. Just the neck, if this gets out of alignment, these misalignments in the neck and the poor structure of it, if we lose the normal healthy curve, if we're looking at you from the side, it disrupts this balance and can lead to headaches. So just like losing the natural curve leads to neck pain and can lead to neck pain, and if it's less than 20 degrees as measured on x-ray, then you increase your chances of chronic neck pain. It's the same thing with the neck. You lose the curve, you lose that balance of the weight of the head. Now it causes stress and tension on the nerves and also on the blood vessels, causing headaches, whether it's tension or migraines. I mean, that's what I had when I was a kid, is migraine headaches, which is, pretty scary, especially when all of a sudden you can't see out of one eye. You can't, you have numbness and tingling down the arms and legs. I couldn't speak. Again, this is my experience of what I had, and I didn't know what this was. It was almost like looking back, kind of looked like stroke type symptoms, which again relates to blood flow, relates to the blood vessels, because interestingly enough, this nerve irritation, yes, in the neck, those nerves go up to the head, that can cause pain. That can cause the headache. But poor posture, poor cervical lordosis, straightening of this curve of the neck, actually reduces the blood flow to the brain and can worsen or cause headaches. And this was a study from brain circulation in 2019. It linked poor spinal posture and this decrease in the cervical lordosis to reduced blood flow to the brain and headaches. Wow. I hope that blows your mind, just thinking how this affects the brain. So again, that's headaches, but it also affects, how you're getting the nutrients to your brain, how you're getting the bad stuff away from the brain and getting the good stuff to the brain, if we're affecting the brain circulation. So one of the first things that people, I think, reach for is painkillers, right? Whether the over-the-counter variety, whether you get prescription medication for your tension headaches or migraine headaches. Again, another big one that I see commercials all the time for medications for migraines. Unfortunately, medications, they provide the temporary relief, but they don't address the root problems of why you have the headaches in the first place. And the overuse and continual use of painkillers like these, one, they lead to rebound headaches. Two, they lead to nutrient deficiencies, which help prolong the effects of the headaches, which help to not get to the root cause of the headaches. And when we don't get to the actual causes and then fix those causes, Well, now if we're not getting the nutrients into our body because these drugs are interfering with the absorption of them and actually just depleting them in general, that leads to more, well, headaches, but other health problems as well. Now, if you want to, I created this simple little 20 years younger guide. So how to eliminate pain using natural methods. I'll show you 7 natural alternatives to over-the-counter NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. I want to give you that. I mean, no charge. Just type in 20 in the comments, and I'll get that guide to you so you can have that as a reference. On top of that, I also did an interview and a video called Natural Headache Solutions with Dr. Brett Brimhall. I'll link to that here because he gives a good protocol for dealing with headaches naturally. So I'll link that so you can have that at your fingertips. So another avenue to help get rid of these headaches and prevent them in the first place are exercises. We're getting into our EAT therapy, EATN, eaten. So the nutrition part, I just addressed there slightly, but exercise, adjust, traction, nutrition. So let's talk about exercises right now. So exercise, is simple range of motion exercises. And I'm going to show you a few right now, right here. So essentially, you just take your ear down towards your shoulder. All right, straight lateral flexion. And I'll show you the range of motion first. So you're just going side to side. All right, just holding. I mean, you can hold for 5 to 10 seconds, or just do it nice and slow. So ear towards the shoulder. You can also go chin towards the shoulder, like you're rotating, and you're taking it within the pain-free range of motion. You're not forcing it. You're not trying to get through the pain. All right, get through the tightness. You're just going nice and easy, and then you can look up and down, and just going, doing 5 to 10 reps, holding each for 5 to 10 seconds in each of those directions. You can also stretch the muscles a little bit more. And these were huge for me as I was experiencing headaches and helping out with headaches, is to get a little bit more of the muscle pull. So it's the same idea, but then you can hold your ear towards the shoulder. Okay. And with this, you're holding more for 20, 30 seconds in that range. You want to make sure you keep the opposite shoulder down though. Now, the front side of the neck, these muscles, this helps to, now with these, it's called the SCM, sternocleidomastoid. Again, you don't have to try to remember that, but just SCM. So these are definitely a big area that get tight, that get tender. So we want to stretch these. So here you're looking to your side and then tipping your head and neck back. See how it gets tight, or it tenses up right there. And you can even tuck your chin in a little bit too. All right, just play around with it. This is where you want to feel it. And I'll put a image up here as well to where you can actually see what I'm talking about on how to do that. I address this in one of my monthly digital publication on one of the issues on headaches and neck pain called Upright. I'll give you more info about that at the end of this. But you're just holding that there, making sure you keep the shoulder down. You can even put your hand here right on your collarbone and just pull slightly here as you rotate, tip your head back. If you feel any pain in the backside of your neck, then again, you got to watch out for that. That happens a lot, where if you have the forward head posture, you lose the neck curve, head goes forward, these get tight, and it's hard for you to tip your head back. So you do that both sides. Oh, it feels so good. You do that both sides, holding for like 20 to 30 seconds regularly throughout the day. But you feel the muscle stretch. You don't want to feel any pain. So those are just simple exercises that you can do. Now, posture. in awareness. So again, the adjust part of the EATN method, adjust your lifestyle, being aware of your posture. Are you hunching over your phone, your computer for prolonged periods of time? You want to take regular breaks. And by regular, I mean every 30 minutes. Because if you get stuck in this position for 30 minutes, your spine is distorting and reforming in that unhealthy position. So a nice little tip I have is on my phone or even on the oven timer, so that it makes me have to get up and shut it off, is putting a timer on for 20 to 30 minutes so you're not stuck in the position that you are. So having these little cues so you don't have to rely on your willpower to do it. Now, the next part of what you can do is traction. So the T part, this is huge: spinal correction and cervical traction. You can improve the natural curve and relieve the pressure. So methods like chiropractic biophysics care, specific exercises, cervical traction, these provide the stimulus that your spine needs over a period of time for it to reform in that healthy, natural position. So Denerol. So this is called a neck Denerol, Dennerol, Denerol, if you want to think about it that way. Provides gentle traction to help restore the cervical lordosis. Now, if you don't have something like that, then again, so this can only be prescribed by a qualified practitioner who knows how to use it. Don't just get it off of Amazon. And if you don't have one of these or you don't know how to use it, then a simple rolled up towel can help with that. I have a spinal hygiene mini class that I can send to you. Type in spine, that shows you instructions on even how to get started with that. But this was a cool study that they did on correcting the neck alignment and headaches. So they had two groups: standard care with some stretches, some exercises, some manual type therapy and movement, and then that also with the Denerol. So this is different than a neck pain study that I've referred to in the past. This is actually with headaches. So they did these two groups again to see how they fared doing just physical therapy or physical therapy with the Denerol. Guess what? The Denerol group had better long-term results, better posture, fewer headaches over a 2-year period of time. Now, there's very similar results over a 10-week period of time, but the results lasted longer when you actually correct the structure of your neck using a device like the Denerol. So like I said, if you don't have a Denerol or don't know how to use it, I'm going to say try to find. That's bad recommendation, bad advice. I am going to put a link to the directory of chiropractic biophysics physicians so you can see if there's anybody in your area. If you can't find anybody, reach out to me and I will do what I can to help find a way for you to find somebody. And if not, I'll help you. Okay? Because it's that important. So addressing the root cause, that's what we always want to look at and try to find what the root cause is. Unfortunately, the spine is often overlooked, right? Even though the neck is right there by the head, it's not just the head. It's not just nutrition. It's not just accidents that you've been in, or sleeping wrong, or not getting enough water. It could be your actual spinal posture, your spinal structure in the neck that is causing the headaches. So we want to make sure that we address that so we can reduce the reliance on painkillers, because those just have if you keep taking those and relying on pain medications, we're going to keep needing the medications. I say, quote unquote, needing the medications, because we get more and more problems because there's more side effects, and you have to take another drug for something else that it caused, and you're wondering, why did that happen? So I encourage you, take action on your posture and on your spine. Correct the structure of your spine. And by correct, I mean by correcting the structure of it, by getting the curves where they need to be. It protects the spinal cord. And that's how you strengthen your spine and be your own guarantee for your health in your life. I mentioned Upright. It's my monthly digital publication. It's a subscription that you can have. And month by month, I supply you with a digital, easily digestible digital publication, 15 to 20 pages long. You get one a month so you can implement these strategies simply and consistently. If you're interested in learning more about that, type Upright in the comments and I'll send you more info about that, including a $20 coupon code where you can save $20 on your annual subscription, which equates to basically around $8 a month. So definitely take advantage of that. I appreciate you being here. And as always, be your own guarantee for your health and your life.